Management Voice, the audio edition. Issue 2, Episode 5, Readiness and Reinvention. As this edition of Management Voice draws to a close, one question remains. In a world defined by constant change, in technology, work, and values, what does it truly mean to be ready? This final episode brings together two perspectives that look ahead. One speaks from the vantage point of youth, standing at the threshold of the future. The other looks at organizations that have learned how to reinvent themselves, not once, but repeatedly. Together, they offer a fitting conclusion to this issue. Building capability in youth to meet the challenges of today and tomorrow. Based on the article by Lakshmipriya M, every generation faces its own challenges. But as Lakshmipriya M observes in her article, today's youth are growing up in a world where change itself has become constant. Technologies evolve rapidly. Career paths are no longer linear, and the expectations placed on young people continue to expand. In such an environment, success depends on more than academic achievement. It depends on capability, the ability to think critically, adapt confidently, and respond thoughtfully to uncertainty. The article highlights critical thinking as a unifying skill for the future. The world will reward not those who merely remember information, but those who can question assumptions, analyze complexity, and make sound decisions. Adaptability, too, becomes central. Modern careers demand flexibility, the willingness to learn continuously, move across roles, and remain open to change. Those who cling to fixed paths risk being left behind. Communication, creativity, and emotional strength further shape readiness. The ability to express ideas clearly, collaborate across differences, and remain resilient under pressure allows young people not only to compete, but to grow with confidence and purpose. The article places responsibility on both institutions and individuals. Educational systems must create spaces that encourage exploration, ethical awareness, and independent thinking. At the same time, young people themselves must cultivate curiosity, discipline, and the courage to step beyond comfort zones. The future, the article reminds us, is not something to be feared. It is something to be built by those prepared to meet it. Capability does not end with individual readiness. It is tested and sustained by the cultures young people eventually enter, by organizations that reward judgment over compliance, learning over certainty, and responsibility over rigid control. The next piece turns to an organization that made reinvention a discipline rather than an exception, and asks what that choice can teach leaders everywhere. No Rules Rules, Netflix and the Culture of Reinvention, based on the book review by Dr. C.A. Santhakumar K. In his review of No Rules Rules, Dr. C.A. Santhakumar K. draws attention to a powerful idea that Netflix's success lies not merely in technology, but in culture. The book, written by Reed Hastings and Erin Meyer, explores how Netflix deliberately moved away from rigid corporate controls and instead built an organization grounded in trust, candor, and responsibility. At the heart of this culture is a demanding principle: hire exceptional talent, give them freedom, and expect sound judgment in return. There are no elaborate approval chains, no rigid vacation policies, and little tolerance for hiding behind rules. For many organizations, this approach feels uncomfortable. Rules provide structure and predictability, but they can also slow decision-making, limit ownership, and discourage innovation. The Netflix example challenges leaders to ask a difficult question: are rules protecting the organization or protecting managers from risk? Importantly, the book does not argue for chaos. Freedom works only when paired with accountability, clarity of purpose, and high standards. In regulated environments, complete freedom may not be possible, but spaces for reinvention always are. What makes the Netflix story compelling, Dr. Santhakumar notes, is its honesty. This model is demanding, it is not for everyone, yet its core message remains relevant. In a world shaped by disruption, reinvention is less about technology and more about mindset. As this edition of Management Voice comes to a close, a clear thread emerges. Capability begins with youth, with the ability to think, adapt, and grow. It is strengthened by emotional balance and health. It finds expression in work and service, and it is sustained by cultures that value trust, learning, and reinvention. The future will continue to test individuals and institutions alike. Those who endure will not be the most rigid, but the most capable. This edition of Management Voice, the audio edition, is brought to you by our valued partners, Manappuram Finance Limited, Sun City, BRD Car World, South Indian Bank, Kalyan Jewelers, ESIF Small Finance Bank, Lijan Green Tech, KP Nambudiris, Bath and Beyond, Double Horse, Dhanlakshmi Bank, Kalyan Mobiles, Forms Builders, Leo Group, Federal Bank, Elite Mission Hospital, Box Push India Private Limited, Hycon, Elite Foods, Yogakshemam Loans, Sun Medical and Research Center, Aquastar, JMJ Fintech, and Vishram Builders. Thank you for your commitment to excellence and progress. You've been listening to Management Voice, the audio edition, brought to you by the Tricia Management Association. Until next time, stay curious, stay connected.